Welcome back to the KingsCourt, or as we call it, the Bethesda Brothers podcast. I am the KingFanMan, and I am here with the legend, Joey Caps. How you doing, Brother Joe?
I'm doing great, King. How are you, man?
I am doing awesome because we have an awesome show lined out. We are going to be talking about Fallout 76 and what is coming in the near future. I don't know if you heard it, but last week on the KingCast, we talked about 10 exciting new things coming soon that are confirmed coming soon to Fallout 76.
That's so much fun. I can't wait. I want to see what they do with factions and pets and companions, and the list goes on and on. I'm excited.
And as you know, there is a roadmap coming very, very soon that they are about to put out for Fallout 76. But I want us to get down in the weeds, as we call it, because they also gave us some hints that may not specifically be on the roadmap, but they gave us some hints of what is probably coming in the near future. And what I mean, over the next few months, and maybe some of them, a little bit longer, but this year. And we're talking about some major things coming. We may even go outside the map, so we're going to get into some pretty good things in this podcast. So are you ready to go? Talking about Fallout 76, Wastelanders, and some of the awesome new things that are coming.
I am ready, Freddy.
All right, well, let's talk about it. One of the things you just talked about, factions. What about if they expand and give us some awesome new lore, new quests with the Enclave and the Brotherhood of Steel?
Now, me personally, I would be all for that. That sounds great. That sounds wonderful. I'm fine. But a lot of people actually have issues with the Brotherhood of Steel. They have issues with them being in 76, and it's you know what? The Brotherhood of Steel have been in the Fallout franchise since day one. So what's really your problem? Why do you have an issue with the Brotherhood of Steel being in a Fallout game when they've been in every single Fallout game?
Yeah.
I just don't understand that. I would love some Brotherhood of Steel content. Enclave, of course. I'm thirsty for the Enclave content. The quest line, the Enclave quest line in 76 already. It's great. It's the best quest line in 76, and I can't wait to see what they do with the Enclave for sure.
Not going to get into this much, but me and you've talked about it. I would love to see them go outside the map to Washington, D.C., and let us see the beginning of the Enclave and the Brotherhood of Steel in Washington, D.C. Wouldn't you love to see the beginning of the Enclave base? You remember where it is, on the boat.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, the Brotherhood of Steel there as well at the Pentagon, wasn't it, at the Pentagon?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Of course it was at the Pentagon.
I don't know. Was it?
Yes, you just got to say yes when the king says something. Just say yes.
Sure. I'll just be a yes man, King.
Yes. But there are so many other factions that I believe they're going to expand on. You can see the Cult of the Mothman that they are working on. The Interloper that is down in the mine. Now we have another, what we call the baby Interloper, now that is made an appearance. That's that thing that's made out of wood, but yet it lives. You cut it or shoot it and it bleeds. So they're going to expand on the Cult of the Mothman. You're looking at me strange, but all these vines that are taken over, and I'm not talking about in the mire, but you look at the church there that the cultists have taken over and the vines that are coming out. This is part of the Interloper, so we're going to learn more about the lore that goes along with the Cult of the Mothman. I can't wait to learn more about that. So I think the factions are really going to explode this year, and me with my lore background, I cannot wait to learn more about that. About the Cult of the Mothman, and then going back to the Enclave and the Brotherhood, getting to see more about their background in the Fallout series is so exciting.
That's, like I said, like I mentioned, I don't understand why somebody wouldn't want to see more of the Brotherhood of Steel. I think that was a train, by the way. I live right by a train. I don't know if you heard that. But
Woo!
but yeah, I'm the Brotherhood of Steel. I think that I've always found them to be fascinating, me personally, and the Enclave. But for me, honestly, the Enclave is just downright evil. If you really get down to it, they're just downright evil. And I like the Enclave, but I don't. It's like a love-hate there. But I would just love to see them expand, especially in 76. It's the prequel to all the Fallout games. So, and especially hopping back into DC. But somebody made a great point, actually, about 76 going into DC. And so if that did happen, do you think we wouldn't receive, now we probably won't anyway, but do you think we wouldn't receive a Fallout 3 remaster? So if we did receive that, do you think they should hold off on DC and just do it for the remaster? Does that make sense?
No, I think it would actually be the perfect thing to go along, actually, with the Fallout 3 remaster.
Okay.
Because I think it would actually generate hype. Think about it. Say this fall they come out with a major DLC where you go outside the map and you go to Washington, D.C., or maybe it's next spring. I'm not putting a timetable on it.
Yeah.
But say a major DLC, kind of like this Wastelanders was, where they go to Washington, D.C., and that would generate hype. And there's a lot of people, believe it or not, that have never played Fallout 3, especially of the younger generation. And that would get them, that would get a lot of hype where they could, advertise, here is Fallout 3, Washington, D.C., and it'd get a lot of people wanting to play Fallout 3. So here is the remaster. I think it would be a perfect way to sell Fallout 3.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
That would be a good marketing ploy.
They need to hire me for marketing, see?
They should. What the heck?
Yeah. If you don't mind, talking about the Brotherhood and the Enclave, people that griped about the Brotherhood, just think about it for a minute. D.C. obviously being the capital of the United States, and West Virginia, of course, being right outside of Washington, D.C., and the Greenbrier in real life having the vault that holds the U.S. Congress. You realize this. It has just recently been declassified that is the vault that holds the United States Congress if anything was to happen, like a nuclear war or anything like that. So people having a problem with the Brotherhood or the Enclave or anything like that being in West Virginia is just absolutely crazy. This is exactly where any major faction during this time would go, because of this would be the seat of power of all of those groups. And if the Enclave is there, of course the Brotherhood is going to go there.
Yeah. Now King, kind of off topic, but still Fallout, still with 76. So with Wastelanders, you get golds, and it's cool. It's great. I love it. But how would they transition this, let's say, into a Fallout 5? Or would they even transition it?
Meaning how would it be connected?
Yeah, because obviously Fallout 3 and 4 and obviously New Vegas and the other Fallout games didn't have it.
Right.
So how would they implement it? I wonder if it would be seamless. They would have an explanation, or like maybe the gold went away for a while and someone had it stashed away. Like I wonder how they would play it off.
That's a very good question. Maybe they would say it was just in the area of West Virginia. Maybe it was just the currency for that area. And also, I mean, we're talking about a major time difference. We're not going to get into the math, but we're talking, hundreds of years in between Fallout 76 and Fallout 4.
Yeah.
We're not just talking about a few years here. So,
yeah, no.
So a lot can happen between those times. So I would think it would probably just be a regional thing, is how they would explain it.
Okay, so you don't think like it would leak into another Fallout game.
No.
You just think it stays in 76.
Yeah, and with the country, I mean, you still don't have electricity, you still don't have cars, you still don't, you're still so compartmentalized because of the lack of travel. Think about it. Everybody's walking,
Yeah.
So it's a very regional thing. The people in Boston stayed in Boston. The people in Washington stayed in Washington. There's somebody that comes into the Wayward in Wastelanders, and they say it took me 3 weeks to get here from Washington. Well, you know how far Washington is. It's not that far.
Yeah,
well, if it took them that long to get from Washington, there's not much traveling going on.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I was just wondering if we could see this currency, and in future Fallout games. I think it would be cool personally. If it was, I was just wondering how they would do it, or if they would do it.
And they might try. But I think that's how they would explain it not being in 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what if me and my ideas, King?
Yes.
Now it really wouldn't be a remaster anymore at this point. It would be more of a remake. But what if they put it in a Fallout 3 remaster game or a remake?
What, the goal?
The goal. Being that DC is close and it only takes, let's say, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's not like it takes a month to get there. It takes 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So if someone had a caravan and they went right over to DC with the gold, but then
they would almost have to add a DLC to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be really neat.
Yeah, it would. Yeah. We're really though getting deep.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. I would love to see that DLC, but it would be a 76 DLC, not a Fallout 3 DLC.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with Fallout 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I do expect the factions to really expand in Fallout 76. You may even see the responders come back. There's so much that they can do with the factions.
Yeah.
Now, I think another thing that you're going to see really soon, in fact, we know you're going to see that. You're going to see a lot of new events. We already have 2 brand new events in the game. You have riding shotgun. I don't know if you've tried that yet. It's really cool. You get to guard a caravan going through the Big Bend Tunnel.
Okay.
Yeah. It used to be filled with Scorch. Now it's filled.
Yes. Now it used to be loaded with Scorch. Yeah.
Now it's filled with bandits, and they're trying to, basically rob the stagecoach, if you will. But they're trying to rob you as you take this caravan through the. It's not a stagecoach, but they're trying to rob the caravan as you go through. But there's all kinds of prizes. I've already gotten a cool backpack skin. I've already gotten the outfit. You can get a flag. You can get legendary weapons, and it's really cool. There's another event called Radiation Rumble that they've added, but we know in a couple of weeks that Foshnot is coming back, which is one of the most popular events in the game. We also know they're going to add an event that is centered around the new Wendigo Colossus.
That's awesome.
Yes, which is an awesome enemy. I did a live stream centered around the Wendigo Colossus. He is so cool. And they may even put the Wendigo Colossus out in the world randomly so you don't have to nuke. In other words, you may just walk up on him. And
oh my God!
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
Do you like that though, or do you think he should be exclusive to a nuke?
No, I would love to randomly come up on him.
Just a random. I don't know. They would have. I don't see. I never had to handle one yet, so I don't know what that entails. I don't want to know what that entails right now.
No, I mean, I
want to keep my distance.
I think he needs to be in areas, like the Cranberry Bog or places like that.
High level.
Yeah, but I would love to see him randomly, like the Mothman, make it very rare, but no, that would be great. I would absolutely adore it. Somebody asked in the AMA if we're going to learn more about mole miners. We don't have really a backstory about the mole miners. And they did say that they're going to add a new specific mole miner soon. You know, we do have the Purveyor that is a specific mole miner. So there must be a quest or something centered around a mole miner soon. So maybe
that's my huge.
Go ahead.
That's my huge question. I'm sorry, King. What the heck? Who's the mole miner? What are they?
They are a cross between a mole rat and a miner.
How?
Well, that's what we don't know.
Like, that's what I'm wondering. Like, how? Like, I wonder if they're in pain all the time.
Nobody knows. But if you watch, they actually come up out of the ground like a mole rat does.
They do. Yeah. They do. Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah. So people want a backstory on them. I would really like to know.
Yeah. The thing is, the one thing that what they did in Wastelanders and it's fantastic. They found the cure for the Scorched. Like, they gave kind of an explanation as to why Scorched isn't in Fallout 4 and 3, right? With the inoculation.
Yes. Yep.
Like, I think that's very interesting. So they kind of kill the disease right there.
Yeah.
So, like, it explains, like, oh, how come it's not in Fallout 4 or Fallout 3? Well, there you go.
Yeah, they've done such a good job in the writing. Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, if there's any big question marks, you know, that somebody has, they have an answer for it. I think with finding the cure for the Scorched, you know, the inoculation, I think really they cover their tracks really well.
Yes.
Bethesda, they have done that really well with this game when it comes to lore and stuff. So I don't think that they get enough credit for that.
Honestly, if you want a game that gives you lore for Fallout, setting the lore for the Fallout series, go back to Fallout 1 and 2 and Fallout 76. Those are the most rich Fallout lore games. That's just honest. Because you're going to learn the most about the Fallout series itself. In other words, it's going to set up everything you need to know about the factions, about what's going on. They have done such a good job in going back and tying everything together.
Yeah.
And of course we've talked about it, but how they tied Wastelanders and the old line together, they've just done a magnificent job.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what the heck they're gonna do. So, what are they going to do with backpacks? I wonder, because don't they have like an idea for backpacks, right?
Well, they keep adding new skins. They just added a new skin Tuesday. They added the Secret Service skin, which is really cool.
The Atomic Shop.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that yet. How cool! I can't imagine.
But what I like that they're doing, and I've asked for this. Not only are they adding things that you have to pay atoms for, they're adding things in the game that you can actually win. Like on that event, riding shotgun, I won a backpack skin. So,
that's cool.
Yeah, and there's also a backpack mod and skin that you can get like at Foundation. So there's ways you can get things in the game without atoms. I really like that.
Mm-hmm. I feel like you could earn atoms quicker now in Wastelanders. Am I right, or do you think?
I've heard people say that. You know, I've not really noticed that. I've always it has always seemed like you can earn atoms pretty easy.
Let's talk about this then. The reason why I bring that up is because I heard someone say that. So now, Wastelanders, everybody likes the game a lot more now. Mm-hmm. Like 76 always had its hardcore fan base, but with Wastelanders now a lot more people are loving this game. So do you think before they tried to find something wrong with 76, so they blamed atoms? They blamed, oh, you can't earn them easily, And it's just all the hate towards 76. They just hated the idea of Adams. But now with Wastelanders being that they love it, now their opinion of something that they once hated, they think, okay, it got better. But in reality, it probably didn't.
Yeah.
Because now you're actually playing the game with Wastelanders and accomplishing challenges, but you weren't before because you weren't really playing it much.
I think that's exactly
so
it.
Do you think that's what it is?
I do.
That's what I think personally. Yeah. Because I didn't really find too much. I mean, you complete challenges at a higher rate because you're playing it more.
Yep.
But if you're playing it,
I honestly don't think it's changed. You got the daily challenges, the weekly challenges. Plus, if you look in there, you've got there's several different categories, and man, there's all kinds of ways to earn atoms. Just general things. My word, you get a number of magazines. You scrap this amount of guns, you kill this number of scorched with a certain type of weapon. I mean, there's all kinds of random different ways, but that's been there since the very start of the game. They haven't changed any of that.
No. And the one thing that I love personally that they fixed. So remember when the dailies were kind of broken? You would complete the quest, but you wouldn't get credit for it, and you wouldn't get experience or anything for it. But then they fixed it to where you got credit for the daily, but they didn't show you that you got credit for the daily. Now with Wastelanders, with this update, now you see that you got credit, and you obviously get credit. For me personally, I think that was huge. I guess they waited for Wastelanders to fully patch that, because we do have new dailies, obviously, with Wastelanders.
Yes.
So I just think that small touch with dailies, and I know you do the same ones over and over again, and it could get monotonous for some, but for me, I think dailies are a lot of fun. I love to go and get some shooting targets for the robot at the Toxic Valley, right? And
I didn't mean to interrupt, but now they show the dailies on the map. They're all visible on the map. Yeah. And they're everywhere.
I just, and you have events, and now you have so much to do in this game. It's just, I mean, like I said, it could be monotonous to some to do the same dailies over and over again, but there's a lot of different dailies. There's a lot of them, and it's an easy way to gain XP when you know how to do them.
Absolutely.
So it's like is it really that bad? No, I don't think so. I think it's really cool. Now, King, random question about 76. Do you think the stupid train? I'm gonna go out there and scream at him. Do you think the original main quest is easier to start a new character, or the Wastelanders main quest? Which quest would you follow to level up your character in the early stages of the game?
I think I honestly would do a mix, but I think the new Wastelanders is easier to level up in.
You think it's easier? Yeah, because as soon, I think in the original main quest, they send you right out into the ash heap pretty early, right?
Or am I wrong? They sure
do.
Yeah, they sure do.
They send you out there pretty early. So in Wastelanders, I don't think they do that.
No.
Like, they don't send you out to a high-level area that quick.
Nope.
And also the level scaling, too. Like, aren't they doing, like, a one, like, Wasteland update or something like that?
Yeah, absolutely.
So where it's like it scales to your level?
Yeah. If you're a brand new person starting the game, say you haven't played at all, I would start with the Wastelanders and do most of the Wayward stuff, most of the Wastelander stuff, and mix in a little bit of the old stuff with it, because like I said, they have seamlessly put it together. That's the way I would do it, because you can't start the Foundation and Raider stuff until you're level 20 anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That stinks.
Yeah. Do you realize most of those 10 things that I gave last week in the KingCast. And again, you guys can go back and listen to the whole KingCast. All those things that Jeff Gardner talked about, they are coming out by this summer. That's what's exciting. New companions, probably pets for our
That's
camps.
Awesome. That's awesome. I'm sorry, I got something stuck in my throat.
Our camp size is getting bigger.
Yeah.
New events, all these things are coming by this summer. And of course, when the roadmap comes out, we're going to know probably a little bit more. The only thing that they talked about that may take a little bit longer, the legendary perks and the perk loadouts. Boy, I can't wait until those come out.
I'm excited for that.
Yes.
I need that now.
When we can finally, drop 3 or 4 perks at the same time and like load in our lock picking perks and those kind. That will be so our crafting perk cards. Yes, that will be so nice.
I would love that.
Yes,
power armor build. Like just the different things.
Yes,
that'd be cool.
But like I said at the very first of this podcast, I believe they are going to overwhelm us with content. I believe it's going to come major content now every 3 months, but we're going to get content. They're going to continue to give us content every week, at least in the Atom Shop. But I think we're going to get this may floor you, but we're going to get updates on a week or every 2 week basis that have something significant, and that's going to be amazing. Plus, they're going to be running the test server, which I believe is going to make it a lot better as far as bugs and all that go.
Yeah. King, are you in that test server, or do you have to apply for it again?
No, everyone that was in the test server before are automatically in it again. So, yeah, I'm in it.
Will you do that again? Will you?
Yeah, I'm in it.
Oh, no, I mean, you're in it, but would you play in it?
Yeah, I'm already playing in it.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Yeah. No, because I think we had the discussion before. Does it take away from the experience a little bit? When it officially comes out?
It does. It does a couple of things. Number one, right now, I know what the next update is. Mm-hmm. So it's I already know what's coming on Christmas. And number two, I can't talk about it. So I can't even hypothesize with you what's coming next. So that kind of takes away from the content of my channel.
Gotcha. Yeah. I hear you. But wow.
So that's cool. We have an update coming next week from Bethesda, and there's new content, and y'all are going to like it. How's that?
I can't. Oh, man, my hands are all sweaty. What are you doing to me?
So that's pretty cool. Let me just read these, see if you like. Again, this is from the AMA that Jeff Gardner talked about. Again, we've got that Wendigo Colossus event that is coming, the Mole Miner that is coming. We might have a new radio station that is coming to the Wasteland. Mm-hmm. They are going to work on increasing the camp size. Yes.
That's one of my favorites.
Yes. Plus, they're going to also work on decreasing item size as well, because they can't just increase camp size. That would cause instability in the server. So they're going to do whatever they can do to increase our build menus. Again, as I said just a minute ago, they are going to bring in new companions. Now, I'm interested to know if they are going to be, and I think they're going to be both. Right now we have 2 main companions. We have Beckett, and then we have the girl from the astronaut. Mm-hmm. But then there's all kinds of what I call the minor companions that you can have. The girl that plays the guitar, the guy that says "pull my finger," all those.
The Raider punk.
Yeah, the Raider, the radio guy. So they're probably going to be adding some more major ones that have quest lines, and then some more minor ones that are sprinkled out in the world. Also, we have they're bringing in the ability to change the companion's clothes, so we're going to be able to. We were able to do that in Fallout 4. You could.
The companions and the settlers. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
That's cool.
So that's coming. They said also pets that may be coming very soon. So that's very
Awesome.
cool.
Have a nice little pit bull running around my camp.
Now I want to stop there before we go on, and I don't even know what time. How much time we got? Are we running late?
I think we're close, King.
Okay.
We're close.
What kind of pets do you think they're going to offer us? Is it just going to be dogs and cats, or do you think they're going to go crazy and give us, because you can already tame animals. You can tame Deathclaws and anything else. Do you think they're going to give us some crazy pets, or is it just going to be the basics?
I think it's going to be a mix. I think you could have a mole rat pet. Then you could have maybe a Deathclaw. Maybe that would be really cool. But then you could also have cats, because there are cats in the wasteland right now.
Yeah,
and dogs.
I think they're going to.
Dogs.
I think they're going to start out slow. I think it'll be dogs, cats, foxes, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think they're going to get creative as it goes along.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yep.
They do with that. Sky's the limit.
He said legendary perks coming this summer. I'm interested to see what those legendary perks are. You can finally start scrapping some of those perk cards in your deck, so you don't have multiple. You know how your perk cards, you just get so many of them and all that. You can actually start scrapping them.
Cool.
Perk loadouts. He said we're getting them this year. So we've been hearing about it. Then, and we need to talk about this. I don't know much about it, but he said there's a matchmaking thing coming.
What?
It's a multiplayer deal. I don't know much about it, and then there's also a balance thing coming to the whole game. So and again, of course, the Foshnot Parade is coming pretty soon. I believe.
Cool.
I believe in a couple of weeks. But
cool.
It's coming this month, and then the roadmap.
Awesome.
So that's a lot that that's what we know for sure. And then he said the Brotherhood is watching the Wasteland very closely.
Yeah. King, before we end it, would you be okay if we received substantial updates to 76 and they improve the quality of life of 76 and let's just say, I'm just saying, mods, right? I know Pete Hines says years and years and years, but when did you ever believe a word that young man said? It probably is years. But seriously, when did you ever believe anything from these people? So anyway, my question to you is, if they add enough content to 76 and they give us the content and it's good content like Wastelanders, are you okay with waiting for Starfield?
Until when?
Couple of years.
A couple of
2022.
years?
2022.
Ooh.
2022, 2023.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's the big one, Elizabeth.
Oh, Chickalao! You wouldn't be okay. That's your reaction. Because
No.
you got to think about it.
No, I mean, you know me. I love Fallout. I'm super excited about Fallout. I play it every day. I love it.
Yeah.
But no, I'm ready for Starfield as well.
Okay. Would you stop playing Fallout?
No, of course not.
How would you balance the two, though? Like, I was playing Skyrim and Fallout at the same time, and I had a hard time balancing.
Yeah, it's going to be tough when it comes out. It's going to be tough on my channel when it comes out. I know it is.
Maybe Starfield on the channel.
I'm gonna do both.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough.
Same with me. Yeah, it will be, but you'll transition.
Yeah, I'm gonna do both. But it's gonna be tough. I'm still. It's coming out next year. It's coming out next year.
Let's hope so.
It absolutely is.
Cross our fingers.
It absolutely is. But I think Fallout 76 is just starting to hit its stride. I think
It
it's
is.
turned
That's
that
what I'm
corner,
saying.
and it's doing the ESO thing.
That's the thing. Like it's hitting its stride now,
I'm
and
so glad.
it's like, man, do we need Starfield? Like, do
Yes,
we need it?
yes, we need Starfield. Would you shut up?
I think it's a fair question to ask, though.
Todd is listening. Would you hush?
Oh! All right, I'll shut my trap.
Well, Joe, I want to thank you so much. Have fun. I have fun every time we do these, and I didn't want to let this pass. I know it's a bit repetitive because I covered this on the KingCast, but I wanted to get your thoughts on this new stuff because this is so exciting. This is exciting stuff. And, of course, we're going to be talking about this stuff for a year now because this is what is coming this year in Fallout 76. And
It's amazing.
Yep, and we'll be getting this roadmap probably within a week or so. So, do you have anything you want to add?
No, King. Just thank you for having me on. I always love talking to you, bantering back and forth. It's nice, So, thanks for having me on, King. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, y'all be sure and subscribe to Joey Caps if you're not already. You better be, or I'll come and get you, and he will too. But check his link down below. If you're not, you'll find his channel. And also go check out his Patreon. I know he would appreciate that. Because we need all the help we can get. Amen?
Thanks, King.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep, 100%.
I am the KingFanMan. He is the legend Joey Caps. And we will see you next time on the Bethesda Brother podcast.